Hello, and thank you for being here. My name is Claudia Rodriguez. I am the founder of Soul Academy 369 and the author of A Journey to a Life You Truly Love. And a woman who has walked many paths to understand what purpose living really means. My professional started in finance, then aviation, and years of countries, traveling the world, and business trips. Later, it evolved into entrepreneurship and service. Underneath all that is much simpler. I am a student of life, which is obsessed with growth, faith, and helping others rise. I travel to more than 120 countries. I chase sunsets in Santorini and silence in Bhutan. I learn gratitude in India and resilience in Africa. I look for meaning in Kilimanjaro mountaintop, in markets and monasteries. And after all that, here is what surprised me. The moment I finally rest, the moment I became still, was the moment purpose really found me. I realized the treasure I was chasing around the world was already planted by God from the very beginning within me. Travel gave me perspective. Stillness gave me direction. And that's why I wrote this book, A Journey to a Life You Truly Love. It is a practical, heart-led guidance for anyone who wants to step out of autopilot and into intention. It is for the woman that is used to give to everyone else and is finally ready to give to herself. It is for the man who is successful in paper but hungry for meaning. It is also for the young person that knows that there is more to life than chasing likes and titles. This book is my way of saying and giving you the mindset tools, gentle habits that can help you truly convert your ideas into actions. See, for me, for many years, I measure my life in achievements, in new countries, new roles. Achievement is great, but alignment is freedom. And alignment is where your beliefs, your words, and your actions walk hand by hand. When success feels peaceful and generous. That is what this book really is about. Less noise and more truth. Less rush and more rhythm. This book will give you structure and practical prompts, simple frameworks, and real stories. You will learn how to redesign your mornings, for example, to make a winning day before event starts, how to set standards and protect your peace, and how to communicate with kindness without abandoning your boundaries, how to reframe from setbacks into wisdom, and how to build confidence that comes from keeping your promises to yourself. I believe purpose happens faster when it's in community. That's why Soul Academy is not just courses. And the book creates community. It creates connection. So if you want to hang out on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, please follow me at Soul Academy 369 or my personal page at claudia.grdz. I will share daily tools, affirmations, and stories because transformation needs repetition and reminders. Soul Academy, the school that never existed. There are questions that change your life. And for me, it was this one. I don't understand why we go to school for years, learning how to read, how to write, and how to calculate. Yet, no one ever teaches how to live, how to love, or how to understand better ourselves. We study mathematics, we study history, we study languages. but we never really study purpose. We learn how to solve an equation, but we don't really learn how to solve our emotional conflicts. They teach us how to make a living, but they don't really teach us how to make a life, especially one that you love. So that question haunted me. It followed me through airports, across time zones, and I'm still trying to figure it out. Because I live what many could call a dream life. I had a steady career in aviation. I have many investment homes between continents, and I have a passport full of stamps with memories in over 120 countries. And yet, I will land in the most beautiful places in the world and I will feel empty. I had everything except meaning. And that's when it really hits me. I had gone everywhere except within. The moment of awakening for me, it wasn't a big dramatic moment. It was more like gentle whisper. A gentle call from the soul saying, there is more. It have to be more. It happens somewhere between flights and fears, between dreams that look perfect and a voice that keeps saying, this can be all. I remember being in Bhutan, surrounded by mountains that seem to breathe peace. People there measure wealth not in dollars, but in gross national happiness. Imagine that. And I thought, what if we all start measuring our lives like that? Not by how much we have, but by how fulfilled we feel. Then in Cape Town, I was volunteering with children in the townships. And I saw pure joy in their eyes. They have almost nothing, but I realized that for them, abundance is not about possessions, it's about presence. In India, when I was traveling with my mother and watching her pray with such a faith, taught me that spirituality is not about religion, it's about your relationship with God. In Peru, while I was meditating, I felt like the mountains were breathing with me. It was really, really beautiful, and I feel truly blessed for all my experiences. And now, back in Mexico, my roots whisper, don't forget where you came from. I felt like my ancestors walked before me just so I can rise. And each of these moments became a lesson. Each experience became a chapter of my curriculum, of my book, that I didn't even knew I was writing. Then I realized the school that I've been looking for all my life, it just didn't exist. So it was my duty to build it. And that's how Soul Academy was born. Soul Academy isn't a physical school, it's a movement. It's the school that never existed, but it should definitely have. A place where education meets transformation, where science meets spirituality, where the mind, the body, and the spirit finally learn to speak the same language. Because real education is not about collecting information. It's about awakening your transformation. It's not about becoming someone else, but it's about remembering who you are. At Soul Academy, we don't really teach theory. We teach experiences. And we guide people to discover what I call the 4 dimensions of alignment. Number 1, mind. Reprogramming beliefs that limit your potential. Number 2, body. Cultivate an energetic and vitality physical strength. Number 3, spirituality. Connecting with divine wisdom and your true essence. 4, action. Embodying everything you learn with integrity and courage. Because wisdom without action is a total waste. Transformation begins when knowledge becomes movement. That's why our courses aren't just online lessons. They are journeys of consciousness. Awaken Your Purpose, for example, helps you remember why you're here. What's your mission in life? The Confident Code teaches you to own your own voice and to realize how powerful it is. Emotional intelligence mastery is all about show you how to lead with empathy. Heal and Rise turns your pain into power and your heartbreak into wisdom. Each course is an invitation to rise higher, to think deeper, and to love harder and wider. In other words, we don't really see the world as it is. We see it as we are. Modern science agrees more and more every day. Quantum physics have shown us that the observer affects the observed. Neuroscience shows every day that thoughts and emotions really can reshape neural networks, and epigenetics reveal that our mindset can activate or silence your genetics. Even biohacking, the art of optimizing our biology, is proven what ancient traditions already knew, that meditation, breathwork, gratitude, and purpose can change the chemistry of our body and everything around it. So when you allow your mind, body, and your spirit, you really, literally reprogram your life. You stop surviving and you start thriving. Awaken your purpose. Before we begin, let's take one big breath together. Feel your feet grounded, your chest rising with air. Remind yourself that you are alive, that this moment is perfect, and you are exactly where you need to be. Now, let me ask you, how many of you have ever wondered what your true purpose is? This question, what's my purpose? Why am I here? Has been whispered in prayers, written in journals, and shouted in the sky for centuries. It is one of the deepest and unifying forces of humanity. I know, because I also ask myself over and over that question. I grew up in Mexico City, a city full of colors, chaos, and contrasts. And later on, I lived in Paris, in Dubai, Australia, and now in Doha, in Qatar. I have traveled for more than 75% of the world, meeting extraordinary people from every culture and from every background. And still, the question keeps following me. What is my true purpose? And here's what I discover. Purpose isn't something that you go and find. It's something that we awaken, that is already within ourselves. And that's why we're here today, to awaken your purpose. Because purpose is not a job title. It's not if you're a doctor or you're a teacher or perhaps an entrepreneur. Purpose is the invisible thread that connects your talents, your passions, and your values to something greater than yourself. Think of Viktor Frankl, an Holocaust survivor and a psychiatrist as well, who wrote, "Men are always in search of meaning." And he teaches that even in the most horrific circumstances, humans can endure anything if they have a why. Purpose is your why. But here's the truth. Most people don't find purpose because they think or they expect it to arrive one day like a lightning. And it just doesn't work that way. Purpose is something that we build through choices, actions, and reflections. When I was in Bhutan, a very small Himalayan kingdom, I learned a powerful lesson. Bhutan doesn't measure success by GDP, aka how much money you have, but how grows national happiness. I met a monk who told me happiness is not about your possessions, and how true it is. It's all about your alignments, and when what you think, what you say, and what you do are one. That is the essence of purpose. Psychology and neuroplasticity now confirms what philosophers and spiritual teachers have known for centuries. Living with purpose can change your brain, your body, and your reality. Studies from Stanford show that people with a strong sense of purpose live longer, have lower stress, and recover from setbacks twice as fast. Neurologically, purpose activates the prefrontal cortex, the decision-making center, and quiets the fear center. That actually means that purpose literally helps you to overcome fear. Research from Harvard found that people with purpose are 2.5 times more likely to report higher levels of life satisfaction and fulfillment. Purpose isn't just something that is nice to have. It's essential for your mental health, your relationships, and even your physical longevity. When I was volunteering in Cape Town, South Africa, working with children, I saw this truth come alive. Those kids have so little materially speaking, yet their smiles, their dreams, and their courage carry more strength than many wealthy adults I know. And why? Because even at a young age, they believe their lives matter. And that belief is the seed of purpose. If purpose is so powerful, how come many of us struggle to awaken it? Well, it is because there are some obstacles. And the first obstacle is fear. Fear of failing. We all have it. Of not being enough. Of disappointment others, perhaps. The second obstacle is the constant comparison. Perhaps scrolling through social media and comparing yourself, which is never helpful. It doesn't work that way. The third one is disconnection. We are also busy chasing titles and chasing achievements that we forget to really listen to our souls. And I know these obstacles well. Because when I work in aviation, my life, I know from outside it looks so glamorous. And many told me that I had a fabulous life. But inside, I knew it was all empty. Because I was performing, but not living. I have confused achievement with real purpose. And so, I had to face my fears. Step away from comparisons and reconnect with my inner voice. That decision, scary as it was, led me here, to Soul Academy, to write my first book, to stand here in front of you today. Because purpose doesn't really awaken by accident, but it awakens when you have intentional steps. And let me share you a simple first-step framework for it. You need to reflect. Ask yourself, what is really breaking my heart now? And what is that brings me joy? What is meaningful truly for me? You also need to connect and align with communities, mentors, and people that lift you higher. We are shaped by the circles we surround ourselves. Number 3, you need to act. Purpose is not found in theories. It is lived by action. Start small, perhaps. Volunteer, create, teach, share. Purpose grows when it's used. And number 4, grow. Be open to evolution because you can do more and your purpose shifts as you walk. I have volunteered many times, and that's where my purpose expanded. Teaching children in the remote communities remind me that my purpose isn't only about what I get, but also what I can give. Travel has been my greatest teacher. All around the world, I have discovered the wisdom of gratitude in the simplest rituals. I have learned resilience, failing and rising again when my life felt so uncertain. And I have always come back to my roots, because they are the ones that carry me. My family culture reminds me always that no matter how far you go, your purpose is tied to where you come from. Each story became like a puzzle piece that alone, they were only beautiful memories, but together they reveal a picture. My purpose is to empower others, to design a life they truly, truly love. Because let's be honest, the world is in a leadership crisis. And not only because of a lack of authority, power, of resources, but because of aligned leadership. True leaders don't only climb ladders, but they create more ladders for others to climb. They don't just succeed, but they inspire. They don't just talk, but they walk the talk. And you, every single one of you, we are all called to lead. Not tomorrow and not someday, but today. Because the world doesn't need more followers. It needs more awakened souls. So I would like to ask you, what is your actual purpose? Not the one society told you to. Not the one you inherited. The one that really, really makes your heart beat faster. That gives meaningful to your mornings. And that lights a fire even in your hardest days. You don't have to wait another year, another decade. You can start today. Purpose is not waiting. It's already within you right now. So if you're ready to take the next step, I invite you to the journey with me in Soul Academy, a space that I created to help people like you awaken their purpose, master their confidence, heal and rise. It's also why I wrote the book, A Journey to a Life You Truly Love. I think it said it all. Because they are not just projects, they are extensions of my heart, designed to remind you of yours. So let's awaken. Let's lead. Let's live with purpose. Because when you awaken your purpose, you don't only change your life, but you also change the ones around you. A Journey to a Life You Truly Love. That's the name of my book, and it basically talks when there always comes a point in your life when you realize that no titles, achievements, or any material success can really fill the emptiness that comes from living disconnected from your actual true essence. That moment, the quiet realization that there must be something more, is where the real journey begins. The journey from within. A Journey to a Life You Truly Love was born from that awakening. It's not just a book, but it's a guide, a companion, and a reflection of the soul's deepest longings. That is to live with peace, purpose, and alignment. This book for me is so important because it's putting principles of positive psychology, neuroplasticity, and feminine wisdom to reconnect with your true self. And it teaches that happiness is not something that we can chase. It's something that we need to cultivate through a wellness, gratitude, and inner transformation. Every page was designed to help you heal, to help you realign, and consciously design a life that you truly, truly love, and that reflects who you are. Because you are not here just to survive, you are here to thrive. This means so much to me because there is a message behind each chapter, and it starts with Soul Academy, the school that never existed, that, as you know, is the name of the company. It is a company that reflects how traditional education prepares us for everything except what is important, life itself. And introduce the Soul Academy philosophy, learning not just to achieve, but to become as well. And invites you to see life as the ultimate classroom. Spiritual growth and emotions are basically all lessons. It's a letter to a soul searcher. I give you a heartfelt message. I know you're looking for meaning and direction. I speak to the reader that know that they are made for something greater, someone ready to reconnect with their purpose and rediscover faith within their own lives. My chapter 1 is the awakening. Every transformation begins with awareness. And this chapter invites you to wake up to your truth, confront the illusions that have held you always back, and remember that you were born with purpose, and that is far greater than fear or any doubt. Chapter 2 is about alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions aligned with your higher self, it becomes just like a natural state. Here you learn how to realign your energy and values, so life begins to flow instead of to resist. My chapter 3 is Design a Life You Truly Love. It offers a step-by-step framework to consciously create a meaningful, balanced, and purpose-driven life. It's about taking responsibility for your own happiness and becoming the designer of your own wellness and love. Chapter 4 is Healing Your Inner Child, because you can never really rise unless you have healed what is beneath. And this chapter revives you to revisit your childhood memories and nurture the child within, the one who still longs to be seen, loved, and safe. My chapter 5 is The Power of Emotional Intelligence, because mastering the language of the heart is the foundation of every successful, loving, and peaceful life. This chapter will teach you how to understand your emotions, respond with wisdom, and strengthen your relationship with compassion and authenticity. My chapter 6 is about confidence and self-trust. It's about claiming your power. Confidence is not just about being fearless, but it's about moving forward with faith. This chapter helps you to rediscover your inner power, silence that voice of self-doubt, and embody the self-worth you were born with. My chapter 7 is about habits and discipline. Becoming the woman you dream of. Transformation requires consistency. And this chapter reveals how small, very small habits can really change everything. And it builds momentum to become the woman you ambition. My chapter 8 is about money, abundance, and mindset, because it's all related. Heal your relationship with receiving. That's where abundance starts, all in the mind. And you will learn how to release limited beliefs and step into a healthy relationship with giving and receiving. Abundance begins in the mind. And here you learn how to release limiting beliefs around money and stepping into a healthy abundance relationship with giving and receiving. True wealth is harmony, purpose, and prosperity. Chapter 9. My Purpose Calling. Living from inside out and a soul-led success. Because success is no longer defined only by status, but by alignment as well. This chapter, it will show you how to lead with purpose and turn your passions into service. Achieve success that feels peaceful and not pressure. My chapter 10 is about the relationship boundaries and conscious love. Choosing connections from wholeness. Love becomes beautiful when it flows from fullness and not from neediness. Here you will learn how to build relationships rooted in respect, healthy boundaries, and emotional maturity. Love that heals instead of hurts. Chapter 11 is about spirituality, stillness, and trusting God. Trusting God's plans. Faith is the anchor that holds us in steady while is uncertainty. And this chapter is about divine timing. and let God give you the next steps for your journey. My chapter 12 and final is about legacy, leadership, and to becoming a light to others. And it's basically about passing the torch. Because true leadership is not about titles, it's about impact. And this final chapter invites you to rise as a leader with love, integrity, and wisdom, and to become a light for others, to pass the torch of transformation forward. That plus a bunch of recommendations, my first aid emotional kit, how to heal from a heartbreak, entrepreneurship, and how to turn your ideas into income is what it makes a journey to a life you truly love. And I believe it's an incredible tool for anyone, and it's a manuscript that you can take step by step. A journey to a life you truly love is not just a book to be read, but it's an experience to be lived. It's for the dreamers, the healers, the believers, and those who refuse to settle for a life that is not even close to what they really dream of. Each chapter is a reflection, an awakening, and a step closer to your divine potential. And by the end, you all understand that the life you truly love is not somewhere in the future. It's within you, waiting or ready to start. The Journey to a Life You Truly Love is available on Amazon worldwide or by visiting soulacademy369.com. Because your journey to peaceful, purposely alignment begins the moment you choose yourself. Number 1. Living in Mexico, then Paris, and Dubai, Australia, and now in Qatar has given me this amazing mosaic of colors of culture that have deeply shaped my identity. Each country has added a new lens through where I see the world, and the global exposure have taught me about empathy and the ability to connect with other people from all walks of life. And my journey started in finance, but deep down I always felt called to a more meaningful path. The turning point for me came when I realized that success without fulfillment leaves you just empty. And I transitioned into wellness, empowerment, because I want to dedicate my life to helping others grow mentally, spiritually, and physically. I think it's all about alignment with career and purpose. When I founded Soul Academy, I noticed a gap. School prepares us for careers, but they don't really prepare us for life. Many people lack the tools of emotional intelligence, confidence, and mainly purpose. I felt called to create a place that women can develop skills about leadership and women empowerment. Confidence and empowerment. The biggest barrier holding women back is often self-doubt, as terrible as it sounds. The fear of not being good enough. Society conditions us to compare, to doubt, and to seek validation externally. My mission is to help women to reconnect, to recognize the patterns, break free from limitation beliefs, and step into confidence that always been within them. Thank you very much. That will be the end of lesson number 1, Awaken Your Purpose. I really enjoy being here with you today, and I really can't wait to see you in our second lesson, that is emotional code and emotional mastery. Thank you.